What's up everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about an excuse that I hear all the time, and that's just what it is, an excuse. And that is, I don't have enough money to get started, or I am going to wait until I have enough money saved up to do that. I am tired of hearing that. It's an excuse I used myself when I was first starting out in my teenage years, but it is just that, it's an excuse and we need to squash it. What you really mean to say is you do not have the education or the knowledge to get started. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that you don't need any money to get started. Like, you gotta have some type of money. You have to have some money to live off of. You probably need a little bit of savings or some income from a job. But guys, you do not need 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 200,000, $1 million to get started. In fact, you can get started without using your own money. Again, you will need to have some money or some income to sustain yourself, but you do not need to have money to get started in whatever endeavor you want to get started in. You can use other people's money. You can use other people's money to start your own little business. You can use other people's money to invest in real estate. You can partner with somebody. You can bring your knowledge and skill set to the table, but you do not necessarily always need money. Another thing is, or another reason that this is a lie, is because you have the money, you just spend it elsewhere. I see this more often than not. I hear people say, well, I can't get started with my Roth. I can't get started with my 401k. I can't get started in investing because I don't have the income or the money or the extra money to get started. Again, this is all false usually, because usually you're just spending that money on other things. I bet at least 99% of you watching this right now have Netflix. That means you have $12 extra a month that you do not need to spend on that you could put in an investing account, and that's just a very small example. There are other things like your car payment's probably too high. You haven't shopped around for your insurance, clothes, food, eating out, all this stuff. You can cut back on those expenses, make it savings, and then invest that money. So more often than not, you do have access to the money. Again, you're just spending it on other things that do not matter as much, or maybe they do matter as much. Maybe that's what matters to you ultimately, but please stop saying, I just want to be financially free, or I just want to be wealthy enough to stop working, or I just want to retire on time. That's the most important thing to me, because that's not the truth. If it was the most important thing to you, you would put it at the forefront of your spending and of your goals, and you would stop spending your money on this other frivolous stuff that doesn't mean as much to you. So again, the first part of this is that you need the knowledge, not necessarily the money, to get started. Things that are free are getting on meetup.com and going to local meetings about real estate and stocks and any type of investing, small business meetings. You can go to those usually often for free, and you can soak up the knowledge, you can network, and you can link up with other people that do have the money, and then you guys could do something together. Remember, you always have something to offer, whether that's knowledge in a certain field or time. You always have something that you can offer to another individual so that you guys can partner up. We do that with our company. Our people, our investors, do not have the time to go out and find these houses and put the deals together, or they're not passionate about it. So we bring our time to the table. We don't have 5 to 10 million laying around. We bring our time to the table. We link up with these people that have 5 or 10 million dollars laying around. We link up, and then we make a win-win situation. They give us the money, we find the houses and put in the work in, and then we split it. But we did not need to have 3, 4, or $5 million to get started in this. In fact, we didn't even need 50,000 to get started in this. Somebody else can always give you the money to get started, but you need the knowledge to show them that you know what you're doing, or otherwise they will not give you the money, or at least let's hope they do not give you the money. So what you need to be working on right now is building knowledge. And I don't want to sound like Ty Lopez there and say knowledge, but really, you guys need to be educating yourselves constantly. Free books, get a library card and go down there. I'm tired of hearing that too. I don't have the money to buy the book this month. I'll buy it next week or next month. Go down to your local library that is free. They'll give you a library card. All the books are in there. You can read them for absolutely free, and you need to be putting your time in educating yourself. So let's please stop using the excuse, I don't have any money, or putting off your goals, putting off your ambitions because you don't have the money right now. If you really think about it, let's say there's an arbitrary number in your head that, like, once I have 50 or 100 grand, I'm gonna buy my first investment house. Have you really sat down and thought about how long that's gonna take you? How much money do you have right now? Okay, and let's say it's like the average American and maybe you have $1,500 in savings. What money's gonna fall out of the sky? What big's gonna happen in your next 5 years that you're gonna be able to all of a sudden put away $20,000 a year? Probably nothing, right? So you need to change your habits, or skip out on saying I need to have the money first, get the knowledge first, team up with somebody with the money. So I just really wanted to make this video, not really to yell at you guys, but just to get you to think in a different way, have a different perspective about having a bunch of money to get started, because that's not always the case. Does it make it easier? Absolutely. It made it easier on my wife and I, but most of you guys are not willing to save like my wife and I did. You're not willing to put in the sacrifices. And I'm not picking on you or saying that we're better than you, but that's just the truth. You guys don't want to live in 700 square feet. You don't want to sleep in the back of your car when you go to the airport. You don't want to wear a $3 wedding ring. Like, those are things that you're not willing to do in order to sacrifice for your future, and we were. So for that, we had the money to get started when we were ready to get started, and sure, it made things easier. But keep in mind, I got joined up with the company that I'm with now with Steve and Andrew without telling them I was bringing money to the table. So I brought my knowledge in. I knew a lot about business. I knew a lot about finance, and they saw value in that way before I told them how much money I had. In fact, it went a long time, and they can attest to this, before I told them I had a lot of money to invest in these houses. So this video is more like a rant. It's not really scripted at all. I told you guys going forward, I'm just gonna make videos I want to make and want to educate you guys and help you guys, and I hope these videos are helpful to you. I hope you can find a different perspective now and say, all right, you know what, enough's enough. I'm not gonna sit here and wait until I magically have $50,000, $100,000 in my bank account before I get started. I'm gonna contact somebody, I'm gonna reach out to somebody, I'm gonna start going to these meetings, I'm gonna educate myself, and I'm also going to stop my spending on things that don't matter as much, so that way I can save up some capital, and I'm gonna get started and working towards my goals today. If you're watching this video, get started today. All right, guys, that's it for the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna just keep making videos like this. I'm gonna try to make them short and sweet and just educational and very practical. Let me know what you guys think about this type of video in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video.